One of the things I want to talk to you about is the economy, because it's something we've discussed before. And of course, it's come up recently with the changes you've been making. And I was wondering if you wanted to say anything about that.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, as you've noticed, any world, it could be America, it could be Germany, it could be Second Life. There's always discussion about the economy. And it's always discussion about what things should cost and who should be taxed for what and what types of things benefit what groups versus other groups, because there's no one size fits all because of the diversity of ways that people use or benefit or depend on a world like this. But what I have been saying for feels like many years now, very consistently been saying, is land in Second Life has been too expensive. And it's been a majority piece of our revenues. And to remove our dependency of that being such a majority piece of our revenue, we have to find ways to move or shift our revenue model or business model from certain ways that we can make money to other ways that we can make money. And I've also been saying for a long time that, land has been too expensive. And so I feel we've been over monetizing land ownership. And we've been under monetizing an extremely vibrant economy within the world. And so simplistically, I kind of compare it or suggest it's like we've had really high property taxes and almost a non-existent consumption tax.
Right. So
how do we get this shift to happen? I mean, we also have subscriptions or premium. That's another revenue source for us. But so we're trying to shift away from land to other areas. And, one of those is consumption. So as we lower land prices, we've been kind of at the same time bumping some fees associated with the GDP or the economic activity in the world. And meaning if you were purely a seller of goods in the world and didn't really own land, you actually had a very, very low cost of operation on the platform. But if you were a landowner, you've had a very high cost. So I can understand as we make this shift, you have people that have benefited from very low fees on transactions, feeling that things are getting worse because they're getting charged more. And people that have owned land will feel some relief because we've been moving it down in steps. And we've had to do this carefully over time, because if you snap this change radically, then you could destroy businesses, you could, take huge risks. So we've tried to figure out the right pace at which we do this rebalancing of the economy. And as you noticed, and as we communicated a while ago and kicked in gear, I think early this week with these new fee structures, that was an additional step in that direction of trying to create a more well-balanced way for us to collect revenues. And that's what's been going on. And I think it's still, even after these last changes, I still think land is too expensive. And I still think that there's more opportunity for us to monetize transactions a bit more. I mean, even fully loaded, when you sell something and you sell your lindens and you redeem your linden dollars, it's for real money. That's still not a huge number compared to what I would say industry standards are for fees associated with digital transactions. So that's the process that's been underway, and I understand that it makes some people unhappy, especially if you've been working, low margin and margin changes, and We'll see. I'm sure the people and the economy will adjust. People might raise some prices on goods they sell to kind of make up the difference, but it's also a bit of capitalism in here. Some people know how to succeed, and some will have a tougher time because of the content you create or the service you provide or whatever it might be. And so it might be a little bit tougher for some, but we feel it's absolutely crucial to make these adjustments because we found out from research years ago that like the number one reason people left was the cost of land. And you can kind of understand that, full region is, used to, when I first started here, was $295 a month full retail. And that's kind of that's a significant hobby. And it's hard to, make that money back. And so, and we've also, because of that, seen a lot of fascinating, absolutely beautiful and stunning content disappear because, it was too expensive for people to have it on in Second Life. So that's kind of the high level view from me on what's going on.